And that's because Jesus attracted enemies and friends. And so he couldn't, at the very end, travel much. He couldn't go out in public much. He would stay sort of secluded a bit. And yet he went out of his way in a time when it was difficult to travel to come to Jericho. Why would he do that? Well, verse 2 gives us the answer. If you notice right there in verse 2, now behold, there was a man. Now behold, there was a man. With all that he had to do, he came to the city on this day because what? Behold, there was a man. And that's his MO, by the way. Jesus will always leave the flock, the 99, to go after the one lost, the person who's hurting, the person who's suffering, the person who's cutting themselves, the person who doesn't feel like anyone loves them, the person who's thought about committing suicide. Jesus will always go after that one. His eye is on the individual. You got to know that about God. He doesn't see crowds. He sees individuals. And this is good because we live in a world where we are increasingly more and more feeling like a number, just one, just a blip, right? They don't update it, it seems, anymore, but when I was growing up, you would see the change on the McDonald's sign, how many they've served. Millions have served, millions and millions served, billions served, billions and billions served. I saw one sign that said over 99 billion served and read that at that point, after 99 billion hamburgers, they just lost count. And so they just kind of left it there. I like what Jerry Seinfeld, the comedian, said about all this. He's like, rillion, tillion, million, billion, killion, billion. Okay, we get it. Every single person on earth has eaten at your stinking restaurant. We get it. You can stop bragging, right? But here's the thing. In this world where we feel like a number, where we feel one out of 7 billion, to God, you're not a number. He knows your name. He knows your name. He knows every hair on your head. Yes, there are thousands between our theaters and buildings and people listening on the radio tonight. Every single one of you, I want to tell you, He has collected every tear you've ever cried in a bottle. He knows everything about you. He loves you. He even knows where that missing sock is you can never find. You know what I'm talking about? Can anyone ever keep track successfully of all their socks? You're a better person than me because I can't. And yet Jesus, He knows everything about you. He said, my Father's eye is on the sparrow. He knows every single bird. And yet you are more valuable to God than many sparrows. And so that's why Jesus took the time with all He had to do to show up in Jericho to meet this man, Zacchaeus.